How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in this video, we're going to be doing an overall market update, taking a look at the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. We're also going to be doing a trading update, talking about what I personally did today in the stock market, as well as some stocks and ETFs that I'm watching and looking to trade right now in the beginning of February in 2020. And as you all read in the title of today's video, yes, we're talking about mighty old Tesla stock, as it was down a ridiculous 170 points at its lowest today, and it's back into the $700 range. So I want to give you guys my opinions around Tesla stock and a bunch of other ones that I'm watching again here in February. But before we do get into that, all I ask from you is, if you enjoy this video, just go down below for me and hit that like button, make it turn blue, and consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further content from me. And if you want to be further connected with the Strive Smart community, I have a free Discord group down below, as well as a free Facebook group. And if you guys actually want 2 free stocks, there's also a link down below, an affiliate link in the description box with Webull, where if you actually deposit $100 using that link, you get 2 free stocks, and they could be valued up to $1,400. So check that out, guys. Check that out. Get your free money. Get into the free groups as well. Everything's linked down below. So let's get into it. Don't want to waste any time today. The S&P 500, get this, guys, was up $37.10 today, up 1.13%. And this is after an amazing day yesterday. So that's 2 straight days in a row now. The markets are on a tear. And like I said in yesterday's video, it's almost like the coronavirus never happened. It's almost like this scare never happened. The markets are just trucking along. The S&P, as you guys can see, almost hit an all-time high today. The Dow almost hit an all-time high today, and yesterday, actually, the NASDAQ just went ballistic, up almost 3%, and the NASDAQ hit an all-time high yesterday. Not sure if it hit another one today, but we'll see. Overall, it's just these markets, guys. They are insane. The S&P here on the 2-hour chart confirmed the uptrend as it held this 180 SMA on the 2-hour chart. That is looking really, really good for us bulls, right? If you're a bear, not looking too good in your case, right? But for the bulls out there, this thing is just continuing to truck along, right? So the technicals obviously are pointing to more momentum to the upside, and I'll be watching that all-time high level resistance tomorrow, which quite frankly is around 3 points today away from where we closed at, which goes to show how close we almost came to an all-time high today. So the Dow Jones up a whopping almost 483 points, up 1.7%, which is just insane, guys. Yesterday it was up a point and a half, or a percentage point and a half. Now 3% plus in a 2-day span. Again, it's like the coronavirus never happened, right? We're maintaining the uptrend here on the 4-hour, as we did hold that 180 SMA, and we're going to test that all-time high if this momentum continues, most likely tomorrow, as that is the next resistance we're dealing with here at around $29,375. Just crazy, guys. This is insanity. The NASDAQ here, you can see it's down $2.25 right now, but that's actually after market hours for the futures, that is. If I pull up my Yahoo Finance app, give me a second, guys. Today, the NASDAQ actually didn't have too great of a day compared to the S&P and the Dow. It was up 0.4%, still a fantastic day, but again, compared to the S&P and the Dow, that's not too good. But either way, yesterday, like I said, they were up 2.7. The NASDAQ, that is, was up 2.7%, which, whew, that's one of the best days that I've seen in recent memory, just from the NASDAQ itself. So overall, guys, that's kind of the market update. Just a quick little rundown of what the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ did today. Let's do a quick coronavirus update. Although, again, the markets, they don't seem like they're caring about the coronavirus right now. The coronavirus is still a very real thing. It's still spreading, and the confirmed cases and the death tolls, they're increasing every single day. So today, guys, just about 5 minutes ago before I started filming this, I looked up on the internet what the confirmed cases and the death tolls were in, I believe this is globally, but the death toll is in China. So right now, 28,000 confirmed cases, 28,018 confirmed cases to be exact, and 563 people have died in China. And let me pull up my notes from yesterday just to see a day-over-day comparison. Yesterday, 427 deaths, 20,000 cases. So you guys can see a day later, it's increased, 8,000 cases in about a day, day and a half, which is insanity, from about 20,000 to 28,000. So this thing is very real. It's still here and it's still spreading, but again, the markets at this point, they're continuing to truck along, and it's putting us in a weird situation because, yeah, technicals markets are pushing, but there's still this overlaying fear that maybe we could see another blow to this market if we get some further negative news surrounding the coronavirus. Maybe we get some more infections in the U.S., whatever ends up happening, right? If we get something negative, it's still something in the back of our heads now that could end up pushing this market down yet again, which is why I'm still pretty cash heavy, guys, to be honest, and we'll talk about that here in the next couple of minutes. So drop a comment, let me know your thoughts down below today, about today's session. What do you think about the stock market? I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Now let's talk about what I'm doing in this market. So you guys saw yesterday I cashed out of Netflix. That ended up being a pretty solid move. Maybe I sold a bit too early because we ran up to the mid 370s today, but that's okay, guys. I don't really care, right? I'm just all about locking in profits when I can, and I'm glad that I did that. On the flip side here, Uber's one that I really, really did well, or I'm patting myself on the back that I did sell yesterday, because Uber today, it saw a bit of a tank today, down about almost 4.5%, down $1.72. So this is one actually that they're reporting earnings tomorrow, and I'm interested in an entry point maybe after earnings. An ideal situation maybe could be to pull down to about $36, and then we can trade that 36 to about maybe 38.50 channel, that range here. That could be an ideal scenario, but again, we'll have to see what Uber ends up doing. So those are two that I ended up selling yesterday, and I forgot to mention in yesterday's video that I'm in Facebook as well, and I did talk about that a couple videos ago, but for some reason forgot to mention it yesterday. And Facebook is one that I bought at around 207, I believe my first entry point was. Added a little bit more, I believe on this dip, was it, I believe? Or actually, no, I might have added a little bit more here. Either way, I added a little bit more on Facebook, and right now, I'm in at around like 206-ish, 205, 206 is my average cost. And this, guys, honestly, the way I'm viewing it is it's an overreaction play. It's to earnings, right? It was an overreaction to the earnings, and I ended up buying into that dip, right? We saw their earnings a couple days ago. They reported EPS. You guys can see it here, $2.56 versus $2.53. And investors, the community out there, they weren't wowed about this earnings report because they didn't beat by a wide margin. Typically, Facebook crushes earnings and the stock soars higher. That's what it's been doing in recent history, right? But the fact that it didn't really crush earnings this time, that's why we saw that drop. But for me, I think it's way, way overblown. It was a drop of 25 points, guys. That's a 10% decrease. Do I think Facebook, its business, deserves to decrease by 10% just because it still beat earnings, but just because it didn't blow earnings out of the water, I don't think so, and that's kind of why I bought into it. So as of now, holding Facebook, not a massive position, but I do have a couple shares, a good amount of shares, but not a ridiculous amount, right? Still looking to maybe add more into it, and I actually started a fresh little position today, which I mentioned towards the end of the trading session, or I said I was thinking about it towards the end of the trading session on my Instagram. And if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, my username is simply at the symbol at Stas Surfes. It's just my name. Go follow me. I post stories every day talking about updates, stocks I'm watching. So I highly recommend you guys go follow me on there. And Microsoft was one that I posted on my story around like 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, something like that. And I was saying I'm interested in maybe picking up some shares here, and I ended up doing it on this dip because we can see all-time high 184. We pulled down all the way to around 178, opening up a nice 2 to 3% here. And then I ended up adding a little bit again as I right after I posted it on my story, which was around this time right here. So I bought in a little bit, I believe like 179, maybe like 179.50. I forget exactly the point, but it was right around here, 179.50. And this, guys, like I've mentioned, every pull down that I see on Microsoft, I'm considering it, right? Due to the massive momentum we've been seeing in the stock. And I know it might be a bit of a premature entry point. We may sell off maybe to 176, maybe down to 175 tomorrow, but quite honestly, I'd welcome that. I'd want that because I'd buy more shares down here, to be honest. I'd just average down, and this would be a swing that I'd probably treat it like Facebook, where I'd just hold it for a couple weeks, maybe just continue getting in and out of it, trading the buying on the red days, trading the pumps, right, and just repeating, rinse and repeating that process. But we'll see what does end up happening here with my position. So overall, that is what I ended up doing today, guys. Let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on those? Are you in Microsoft? Are you in Uber? Are you in any of these stocks? I'd love to know down below in the comment section. So now, good old Tesla stock, guys. Good old Tesla stock. I posted a video yesterday. I said Tesla stock pulling down, and yeah, they pulled down. They pulled down all right, down about 18%, actually 17% at the close of the market, down $152. And the crazy thing is, guys, me being a trader, an investor that's really been, in this game for about like 6-7 years at this point almost, I knew this was coming. I didn't know when it was coming, but I knew that this is unsustainable. And the sad thing is, beginners, they did go and buy here. A lot of people were buying here, and they probably got smoked today, right? They probably got smoked. But the good thing is, if you are one of those beginners, treat this as a lesson, right? Treat this as a lesson. Every trader loses a lot of money at first. Some people lose a lot of money and they quit. That's the reality of it, right? Not everyone can have a sustaining career off of this. But if you took a massive loss, don't let it kill your confidence. Don't let it kill your mojo. Bounce back from it. Just understand that this stuff happens. I've lost thousands, literally, guys, thousands of dollars trading in the market, and it happens. Now for next time. This happened to me, guys. That's how I know this was coming, right? But now for next time, don't go chasing something like this. It could have been, I'll show you similar scenarios very quickly too, actually. Tilray. You guys remember Tilray? This happened to people a year ago. I forget, a year or two ago, when Tilray, this was back in actually about a year and 3 months ago, 4 months ago, about a year and a half ago, Tilray went from $30 to $300. And I guarantee you guys, people were buying this MJ company. Can't say the word because YouTube might demonetize me, but people were buying this thing for sure. in the 250s, 300s, and then right now it's worth $17 per share. Another one is Beyond Meat, guys. The rally from 45 IPO all the way to 230. I guarantee you people were buying up here, and now they got smoked. They lost more than 70%, 50, 60% of their money. So the takeaway here is don't go chasing things like Tesla. You can, but you're playing with fire at that point, right? And, at this point, now we can talk about an entry point. Now things are getting interesting. We were talking in the group chat today, which again is free, link down below. We were talking about how low can Tesla go. Me personally, I don't think we'll see it in the 200s, 300s again unless we get into a recession. That's just my personal opinion. If we get in a recession, I can see Tesla back down there. But realistically, I think the lowest it can go is 450, 500. That's just my humble opinion at this point, right? I think people, if we're just judging on, let's say, this hourly chart, maybe people start buying the dip. Let's say we dump tomorrow too. Maybe people start buying the dip at around 650, which would be this 180 SMA support on the hourly chart. Maybe people start buying the dip maybe on this 30-day chart, if we were to get down to, let's say, maybe $600 on the 4-hour chart, which is the 6-month chart. A noticeable point of resistance here, or rather support here, is this 50 SMA, which again is around 650. So for sure tomorrow, and in general here, if we sell off more on Tesla, I'd be looking at 650 as a general area for maybe buyers to start stepping in. And that could be an interesting entry point, something worth talking about. And maybe even I'd consider scooping up some shares there. And of course, I'll let you guys know in these videos and in the Discord chat and even on Twitter. I'm going to try and be more active on Twitter, guys. I'm just tweeting out what I'm doing throughout the day. And let's say we break this level, maybe 500. Again, that's the lowest. 450, 500 is the lowest I see it going. And that would probably put us right on this 180 SMA on this 4-hour chart. So overall, if you guys don't know what happened with Tesla, I'm sure most of you guys know, but it's really a recipe for this run-up here. We had short sellers covering. We had mass media kind of shifting the narrative on Tesla. Jim Cramer coming out. He used to hate it a couple years ago. CNBC obviously had negative light on it. All these different companies or media outlets, right? Now they're turning a positive light, a bullish light on Tesla. Earnings were positive. Delivery outlooks look good. These are all recipes, guys, for the stock to come up. And then once beginners start seeing it, FOMO starts kicking in, the stock just continues to push. And today was really just, honestly, a breather for the stock. Profit taking across the board. People were just dumping out of their shares. That's kind of what happens here when we see a massive drop like this. So what do you guys think? 600, 650? 500. What do you think Tesla can bottom out at here? Me, again, humble opinion, 450, 500 is the lowest I see it going. Absolute lowest in the short term unless we get into a recession. 600, 650 could be the more realistic area right now. So airline stocks. As the coronavirus, although it's still growing, as the coronavirus has kind of traders are forgetting about it, investors are kind of brushing it under the rug. These airline stocks, which were crushed due to the coronavirus, now they're starting to come back. We had Southwest Airlines today up 2.28% after a pretty big dip from 58 to about 54.50. This one is worth watching. Maybe if we go up and test $58 again, 58.50. Just keep an eye on LUV here. I for sure am, as these, again, are bounce back plays. But a risk factor is we get another scare with the coronavirus, right? That could definitely just continue hurting stocks like this and stocks in general like Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, Disney, a lot of these companies that we know have already been affected. So another one is AAL, American Airlines. Yet again, another airline. This is up, or it was up 67 cents today, up 2.36%. And another one is ticker symbol DAL, Delta Airlines. This was up $1 today, up 1.66%. And honestly, if we're just judging technicals strictly, DAL looks like it has the most risk reward, and the trend looks the most favorable, at least in my eyes, out of these three airlines that we just went over. So Microsoft, we already talked about this one, but for those of you guys that maybe skipped the beginning of the video, I don't know if you did that, but Microsoft, this one's decent in my opinion right now on the dip. I picked up a couple shares, but I'm looking to add more if it does end up going down maybe 170, 175. Overall, I'm just bullish on the stock. They destroyed earnings a couple days ago, and I'm just loving that. So Facebook, we already talked about that one. Target is one that I'm actually itching here for a position. Almost took a position today in Target, believe it or not, but I'm waiting until tomorrow to see what happens with the markets in general and with Target in specific. So Target today was up $2.28, up 2.01%, and I'm really just loving the price action and the close above 115, as this was an old resistance, and the close above and the break above that is the 50 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. These are all signs here, bullish signs on TGT. And this, honestly, I was considering some longer term calls on Target, maybe a couple months out. We'll talk about that maybe if I do end up buying those calls here in the next couple of days. But overall, I think Target from 115 up to at least 120, 122, which puts us under that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. I think that is a pretty good range for Target here in these next couple of weeks. Disney is another one that I forgot to talk about their earnings, guys. They reported earnings, I believe, yesterday, and let me tell you what those numbers were if you guys didn't look at them for yourselves, and some Disney Plus numbers that are quite interesting. So EPS did very well. It actually came in at $1.53 versus $1.44 estimated. Revenue came in at $20.85 billion versus $20.78 billion estimated. And here are some interesting numbers. A couple months ago, Disney came out and they said they're going to have roughly, they think that is, they'll have 60 to 90 million subscriptions on Disney Plus, by the year 2024. And in my opinion, they probably lowballed those. Those were conservative numbers because they just came out with numbers that 26.5 million people have already subscribed to Disney Plus, which is insane. They've already almost completed half of their goal there of the 60 million subscribers by 2024, and we still have another 4 full years until 2024. So for me, they definitely lowballed those numbers. I'm interested in seeing how many people here, how many additional people add Disney Plus over the next couple of months, next year or two, because once Disney Plus came out, it's arguable, you can argue that many people initially signed up. The bulk of the crowd might have signed up already, maybe, arguably here again. But now I'd like to see how many new people join, if it ends up slowing down now that maybe the bulk of the crowd that originally was going to sign up already signed up, right? So these are just some thoughts that are going through my head right now with Disney regarding those numbers and their earnings. So some other ones, Chinese electric vehicle stock today, NIO. It got hit 12 cents. I didn't see really any news about that. My opinion is maybe because of Tesla getting crushed, they kind of move in synchrony here. It seems like yesterday NIO was up like 13% or something. Tesla was up 20%, whatever it was up. So NEO's definitely worth watching on this dip here. I'm still long NEO. You guys know I've been buying shares for months now. I'm really liking it. Another one, a healthcare play here that, believe it or not, it's been pushing through this whole coronavirus. Even when the markets saw that scare, Johnson & Johnson has been crushing it, and maybe it's a lot of the healthcare stocks. Let me just double check that. I might be wrong on that, honestly, but let's see. AbbVie, yeah, they got hit. Not too sure why they got hit. I'm not sure if this is definitely not related to the coronavirus, but either way, AbbVie's killing it too. So these two healthcares, AbbVie, they actually report earnings here on the 7th, which I'm definitely tuning in for since I am long AbbVie in my M1 account, which I actually uploaded a update video to that. Go check it out. It was yesterday's update. I'll put a link down below in the description. It's worth watching. AbbVie, ABBV. Johnson & Johnson, again, it's another one worth watching here. SQ, I'm loving this. Thank you. A pull down on SQ of 3.28%, $2.65. Now we are holding 78. We closed above it. Old resistance. We're not an old resistance. It's actually just a support right now. I'm loving that, guys. I said this in yesterday's video. I did not strike and buy any shares, but I do have cash waiting tomorrow, and SQ is definitely at the top of my list. One of them at the top of my list here for tomorrow. AMD is another one that today, I think yesterday maybe, actually today pre-market, we broke that 50 SMA, which is a very bullish sign here on the 4-hour chart, guys. So I'm interested in maybe a long entry here on AMD, maybe from $50 up to about $52. And Caterpillar will end off here. Caterpillar held 130 nicely. I wonder, did any of you guys get this play? I didn't, but I called it out here at 130. Now that I'm looking at it, I wish I set an alert. That's just my fault, to be honest. But it did kill it from 130 to 137. Still some potential maybe to 140, but we might see a pull down, maybe a bit of a cool off. We'll see, and that could open up an entry point here on Caterpillar. So overall, guys, those are some stocks I'm watching, what I did today, some thoughts on the market, and my thoughts on Tesla. I'd love to know what you guys have to think about all of that, again, down below in the comments section. And if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing if you want to see further content like this on a day-to-day basis. And don't forget to claim your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 with a deposit of $100 into Webull using my affiliate link down below in the description box. I appreciate all of you guys watching the content. It means a lot to me. The channel has been growing very, very nicely, and that's all thanks to you guys. Without you guys, no one would be watching my videos, obviously. So I do appreciate it again. I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.